Right now on Up with KREM, hospitals around the inland northwest are pausing non-essential surgeries due to rising COVID cases.
KREM 2's Nicole Hernandez is live with what specific hospitals are doing.
Yeah, that's right. Both Providence Sacred Heart and Multi-Care Deaconess have put that pause on elected surgeries because of an increase in COVID-19 cases and a need for space in the ICU.
With the rise of COVID-19 Delta variant cases, state officials are starting to rethink their COVID-19 mask mandate policies. Why Oregon is bringing back their mask policy.
And of course, we're going to take you outside. A little bit of a smoky haze in the low levels of the atmosphere. We'll talk where that smoke is and where you'll see more later tonight.
Up with KREM begins now.
Well, check this out. Corey Kispert just scored his first three-pointer in the NBA last night. The former Zag is playing for the Washington Wizards this season, and he was the team's #1 pick in the NBA draft. Kispert scored 8 points during his summer league debut. The last time he played a live game was on April 5th in the NCAA championship. So, yeah, way to go, Corey. Let's go, Zags.
Let's go. What a way to start our morning.
Yeah, the guy is just super talented.
Oh, yeah, he's so much fun to watch.
He's so much fun, and hopefully, you know, he'll be making another appearance in Spokane to visit, maybe during Hoop Fest or something.
Ooh, fingers crossed.
Yeah, so Hoop Fest, of course, later next month. It is delayed because of the pandemic. But let's talk weather now. Jeremy, hopefully things will cool down for Hoop Fest next month. Good thing it's not this time of year because it has just been so hot.
Ooh, it even looks hot outside right now.
It looks hot. It's only 68 degrees, but it looks hot. I'm with you, Channing. It looks, I don't want to say it, just hot. We'll say that. All right, temps are on the rise. We are sitting at 68 degrees here in Spokane, but those temperatures are rising and rising quickly, and that's going to be the case across much of the region. You can see a little bit of a haze in the atmosphere. Air quality still sits at moderate early on this morning. Not too terribly bad, but something worth monitoring because later on today, it's likely we wind up seeing more smoke funnel in from up to the north as wind starts to shift. Temps in the mid to upper 60s now, low 70s over in Wenatchee, but just know things are warming up. For that reason, we have an excessive heat warning in place. It takes us from today through Saturday. Highs in the upper 90s and low triple digits across much of the region. Not a cloud in the sky as we kick things off on this Wednesday morning. Hump day. And as we move through the afternoon, temps are on the rise. By about noon, we're already up to 90. By 10, we're at 80, so you get the picture. It's warming up quick. We'll be in the upper 90s later on this afternoon.
Well, this week we learned that Providence Sacred Heart Hospital will pause some non-emergency surgeries due to COVID.
But they aren't the only hospital in our area to do so. Nicole Hernandez is live in Spokane this morning to tell us about the changes that you might see as those case numbers continue to rise. Good morning, Nicole.
Yeah, good morning, guys. So right now I'm live at Multi-Care Deaconess, where they also say that they're going to be pausing some elective surgeries because of the spike in COVID-19 cases. We were able to speak with a spokesperson from the hospital, and they say that one of the biggest reasons that they're doing this is because they need more room in the ICU right now. On top of more COVID-19 hospitalizations, they're also seeing more patients that put off important visits earlier in the pandemic. They say not all surgeries are being affected by this, though. Multi-Care will get in touch with you if you are going to delay your surgery. If you have any questions, though, you can call your physician. Some hospitals in Spokane County and North Idaho are reporting some of the highest numbers of new COVID-19 cases since the pandemic started. Over in North Idaho, Kootenai Health is also postponing some surgeries. They're also tightening visitor restrictions and extending hours at their COVID-19 testing center. If you're interested in more information about this elected surgery postponement on both sides of state lines, you can actually text the word surgery to 509-448-2000. We'll send you a link with everything we have. And coming up at 8 o'clock, I'll also be talking about exactly what Sacred Heart is going to be doing about their elective surgeries. Live in Spokane, I'm Nicole Hernandez.
With many hospitals in our region and around the country pausing non-emergency surgeries due to rising COVID-19 cases, how exactly is the Spokane area faring? KREM 2's Casey Decker looks at Spokane COVID-19 cases by the numbers.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, the data does largely reflect the rhetoric we're hearing right now. Things aren't looking pretty darn bad. Well, to see just how bad, let's go ahead and take a look at the latest data from the Washington State Department of Health. This is all data for Spokane County, and we'll start with the number that everyone goes to first, which is case numbers. And you can see just in the last month, we were going down, now we are shooting up, and that's pretty scary. It is not anywhere near as scary, of course, as that huge spike we saw last winter. However, it is just as bad, if not worse, as the spike we had in mid-April when we worried about going back in phases, and it is worse than the spike we had in the middle of last summer of 2020 when we were almost completely shut down. So cases not looking good right now. It's especially the steepness of this curve that's pretty concerning. But of course, case numbers aren't really the metric we necessarily care about the most. At the end of the day, a lot of public health experts are really focused on hospitalizations because that's the number that shows us just how sick people are really getting. Let's take a look at that too for Spokane County as well. And here the numbers are shooting up even more, even a scarier curve right here, but the numbers aren't quite as high as that spike we saw earlier in April, nowhere near as high as that big spike last winter. They're about on par, if not a little bit lower in some areas and higher in some areas compared to last summer. But still, this is not where we want to be right now. We want to see this curve going down, and you can see here it is just shooting back up again. So very concerning here with these hospitalizations. Now you might be asking, is there any good news? Well, some, depending on how you look at it. Now, obviously, we want to get deaths down to 0. But if you take a look at this chart here, you can see we have been making quite a bit of progress. Now, a lot of the deaths happened early on in 2020, the beginning of the pandemic. People didn't really know how to respond to it. And then, of course, a lot of the deaths again in that really, really bad wave last winter. But since then, deaths have gone down and stayed pretty low, including in that April wave and including now in this Delta wave. So that is some good news we're seeing there as well. The deaths pretty low, but it's those hospitalizations that are really killing us right now. That's what public health officials are concerned about. That's why more vaccine mandates are going out. And so right now, things are not looking great in Spokane County. In the studio, Casey Decker, KREM 2 News.
The time is now 7:36. It's time for your morning rush. More news in less time. In Okanogan County, both directions of State Route 20 are now fully back open to traffic. The 20-mile stretch of the North Cascades Highway closed in the middle of July due to wildfire activity in the area. The speed limit has been reduced to 35 miles per hour, and a pilot car will be escorting vehicles between milepost 166 and 172. Yesterday afternoon, the Senate approved a $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill. This bill provides momentum for President Biden's Build Back Better priorities. The package focuses on rebuilding roads, broadband internet access, and public works systems. The bill passed 69-30 and is now headed to the House.
The popular Spokane pizza place David's Pizza will now be closed on Sundays. In a Facebook post, they say the closure is only temporary as they face a shortage of workers. Now, they are not the only ones in the Spokane area that have been impacted by worker shortages. Dick's Hamburgers downtown also announcing they would be closed on Sundays in mid-July. And that's your morning rush. More news in less time. Let us know what's happening in your neighborhood by using the hashtag #UpWithKREM on social media.
With the rise in COVID-19 cases all across the country, many state and public health officials are revisiting how they can prevent these new cases.
Yeah, so here's 3 things you need to know about COVID-19 this morning. Up first, Oregon's governor is set to announce a statewide mask mandate today. The state recorded its single largest increase in COVID-19 cases since the start of the pandemic on Tuesday, and hospitals are filling up.
It's a sizable population in Oregon. I would say, we have about 1.2 million people who are still susceptible. And if they all got infected at once, which is kind of what we're looking at right now, we do not have room for the share that need the hospital.
Hospitalizations are nearing pre-vaccine levels similar to Washington. Oregon will require state employees to get the vaccine by October 18th.
A group of independent advisors to the CDC will meet later this week to review data on COVID-19 booster shots. As of right now, no vote is scheduled for Friday's meeting. The FDA would have to change the current vaccine authorization or grant full approval of the vaccines before the panel can recommend additional shots.
In Coeur d'Alene, Kootenai Health says it will be restricting visitors due to a COVID-19 case surge. Starting August 12th, each non-COVID patient will be allowed 1 visitor per day, and visitors must be healthy and wear masks. They currently have the highest volume of COVID-19 patients in the state of Idaho.
Well, a new community garden is making it possible to grow your own fruits and veggies, even if you don't have your own backyard. We'll introduce you to the man who started it all coming up.
And of course, we're going to take you outside and talk the heat wave. We're already warming up. Temperatures in Spokane, 9 degrees above where they were this time yesterday. You head up to Sandpoint, how about 13 degrees warmer than where we sat yesterday? Lewiston, 10 degrees warmer. And we're warming all day long. We'll be about 10 degrees warmer than we were yesterday. Later on this afternoon, I'll let you know how we get there.